episode 16 of Three Dudes Brews. Three Dudes Brews are a liquid journey into crafted deliciousness, an appreciation of the various craft styles, your own perspective of taste, and a celebration of the good people who bring it to us. Hi, my name is Buddy Thayer. I am very, 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 very happy to welcome you to join us this fine, beautiful day. I'm very excited because this is a brewery that I have been aching to come and film a show and pick these guys' brains since they opened about a year ago, and we're finally here, so I'm very excited. It unites two of the greatest things that I've been brought up to know and love: great craft beer and culture and tradition, and it marries them all in this lovely space that you see us sitting in here today. Speaking of, when I think of culture and tradition, Ed, I think of the man down the end of the table. He puts the in Greek. He'll fire questions down like Zeus from the tip of Mount Olympus. Costas Sangaruli, dude. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, everybody. And to Buddy's right, we have none other than the wonderful doctor.
How you folks doing out there today? As you can tell, I'm kind of sharing a mic. We got a little bit of a different setup today. But, you know, Buddy loves it, so I'll be playing around over here a little bit today. We're a little snuggled. So, we can call that, yeah. So, as Buddy said, we are here today at Tragmar. We have Chris and head brewer Mike. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. We are here in Bristol, Rhode Island. And, guys, what's the address here?
It is 87 Gooding Avenue, Bristol, Rhode Island.
87 Gooding Avenue. It's super easy to get to, guys. So, again, welcome. Can't say it enough. We're itching to dive into some tasty, tasty beers. We've been here plenty of times, and we love every single thing you guys have done.
Everything.
I don't think I've had a bad pour here yet. So, yeah. So with that, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about? Let's start with that name, Tragmar.
Yeah, what's that mean?
That's interesting. So.
All right, so
how do we get there?
So we're based off of a Celtic family of gods called the Tuatha De Danann. So in Celtic mythology, thousands of years old, there was this old group of gods, goddesses, kings, queens, warriors called the Tuatha De Danann, and within their ranks there was a member called Tragmar. So Tragmar was the god of axes. So he had a mythical axe. When he tossed his axe into the ocean, he could stop the water, stop naval attacks, stop natural disasters. That was kind of his skill set. So he was the god that we chose to kind of name and brand the brewery after, and then we blend in all sorts of elements from that family throughout the beers, throughout the brewery itself.
That's freaking awesome. I had no idea it was going to go that way. I'm like, they just picked out like a cool name. No, So now the axe makes a little bit more sense. You know, I just thought it was some badass thing these guys wanted to do. You know, like, yeah, let's go. So that's awesome, man. That's fantastic. So, folks at home, as you can tell, Chris has a slight accent.
A little bit. A wee bit.
And, you know, we love it. That's all I can say. You know, I'm a sucker for a good Irish accent. So, usually on the women, though. Today we'll make an exception today. So, you know, like I said, I can't wait anymore. So we're gonna dive into beer one. What do we have here? Because I'm getting parched and I'm getting
beer one is Tragmar. Inspired Pilsner.
You can throw one right there.
So this is Dark House Lager based on the story.
I want to say I think this is the first beer I had because. So there we go. So that also brings me to another question. So that's how you say it, Sláinte?
Sláinte.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, you know, I always fuck up every Irish name because you look at it and we're thinking English and we're thinking, you know, that looks like slant. You know? So I'm glad we clarified that so I don't fuck that up.
Depending on the part of Ireland, it could be Sláinte or Sláinte. I tend to go towards Sláinte.
What part of Ireland are you coming from, Chris?
I grew up in the northeast coast of Ireland, County Antrim, in a village called Cushendall. It's about 50 miles northeast of Belfast, right on the coast in Ireland.
So Northern Ireland.
Yeah, okay. Part of the north of Ireland, yeah. So it's, you can see, as you drive into Cushendall, you can see the cliffs over in Scotland, the Mull of Kintyre. So it's only 14 miles across the water right there. So a really close point. At night time, you can see cars driving around the cliffs in Scotland. So we have like pretty close ties with Scotland. So
that's incredible. So do you, as far as like, if you're close to Scotland, you're in Ireland, but you're Northern Ireland, so you guys are a separate entity, essentially. Are your traditions more enriched in Irish? Or are they more Scottish or English for that
Well,
matter?
you're getting into some interesting politics. We probably will veer away.
I'm sorry.
No religion, no politics.
Yeah. But I grew up in a very Irish tradition, so Irish music, Irish dance, Irish culture. There's different areas within the North that have different ideas about that culture and plan. So that's a whole other podcast.
Of course, I
Mike, I noticed not so much of an Irish accent over there. So where are you from, Mike?
I'm from Rhode Island. I was born in Providence and lived in Warren growing up, and now live in Bristol.
So you were born in Providence. What part of Providence?
I was born at Women Infants.
Okay, so you were literally born there, scooped up, and taken the hell out of the city. You were like, listen, we can't get out of here fast
Grew
enough.
up there till like third grade, then we moved it down here. Yeah, and then half Irish, half Portuguese.
Well, listen, I can't throw a bottle cap in this thing without hitting someone who's Portuguese. So that's the nature of the beast. So I grew up in Providence. That's why I was asking. So I lived there until I was probably 19, and then I moved to Warwick, and then left.
Gotcha.
So
I was younger, about third grade. We moved over to Warren and got out of town there. So for good reasons.
How did you guys meet? How did Tragmar come about? Now you two, there is a third person. So Chris is also involved in it. How did you guys come to the idea of Tragmar?
Jay is my neighbor. Jay's our other partner, and brought us together.
Yeah.
Through several, Jay was home brewing a little bit, and I was doing a lot of brewing. I was talking about how I wanted to pursue opening up a brewery, and I don't know what happened. So we all got together and
got drunk probably and said, "Fuck it," pretty much.
So when I moved to Rhode Island in 2018, I was 11 years in California before that. But when I shifted out here, I was working for a company that Jay was working for. So we were on the same team. So we got to know each other through that.
Nice.
We always had a passion for beer and doing something outside of the work that we were doing at that time. Like a lot of people, we had ambitions and an idea of maybe open an Irish bar, open a brewery, do something outside of that.
So you and Jay were neighbors, and you and Jay were co-workers. You guys got shit-faced and came up with
pretty much how it went. And Mike's always been interested in, always into brewing, always into beer, always interested in opening a brewery. And I eventually quit my job. I just had enough of it. I was like, you know what, let's go see if we can make this work. I gave myself a year.
That is a beautiful idea.
our dream.
Yeah.
Mike, let me ask you. I know you've heard other locations.
Yes.
What experiences? What can you take from those breweries, and what where it influences somewhat what you do here today, or doesn't influence what you don't do here today, for that matter?
I mean, it was a journey, right? It was great to be able to get those experiences in another facility and kind of learn all kinds of different habits, good, whether it be good or bad, and just kind of take notes on that. Get your experience with using the commercial equipment, stepping up from home brewing and stuff like that. Seeing all different aspects of the business, working, I spent time in the front of the house, back of the house, just do a little bit of everything. And but going into that, my dream was always to open up a brewery. So it was nice to get that learning from someone else, and great people, met a lot of great people along the way, and established some great relationships that kind of helped, I think, get into the industry. So
That's on the job training.
yeah.
You learn mistakes and you learn from your successes and things you're going to failures.
And I went through the continued education program at Johnson & Wales.
Oh, nice.
Well, too, so that kind of helped build a base just as to how do you open up a brewery, right? So that was huge.
Well, I want to talk more about this Pilsner because as you can see, mine's gone. So I do love a good Pilsner. We had one last night, and it was one of my favorites. And this is what I love about going to these places is that everybody has their own little take. And as you can tell, this. I was ready to down this in one shot, folks. I'm not gonna lie. I love this Pilsner. So, like I said, your Pilsner is your Pilsner. Everybody's got their own little take on it. Why did you guys with all the styles out there? Why'd you pick a Pilsner?
I think we all think when we want to go out and have a beer, you want to have something that's drinkable, and you can have more than one of them, right? Share good conversation and good times and good beers. And there's nothing like a great everyday drinkable Pilsner in my mind, right? So,
amen to that. Let me tell you.
It's a beer.
This is one of my favorite styles, and it's just because of that same thing. I mean, you can drink it. You don't have to worry about I feel so heavy now. I just had like the thickest thing on the planet, which we're going to get to. So I mean, that's great, and I'm glad you guys do it, because keep doing it. I swear to God, if you take it off the menu, it'll be a sad day. We're gonna have some fight.
That's the namesake. It's thick and raunch.
You have a lot of beers. You have a lot of flagship beers. You have a lot of beers that are recognizable to people who come here. What separates your flagship, some of your best, from all the other beers? There's a lot of breweries in Rhode Island. What makes your beer stand out? What makes your beers best?
Whatever the customer likes, I don't know.
So I would say that personally, I love breweries. I go to a lot of breweries, but I was starting to get a little bit burnt out. I'm not an IPA guy. I don't really enjoy those hoppy beers. I'm
the same way. I'd rather have a nice malty, beer than an IPA.
And I get it. I understand it. It's a style that people love, and we brew them because we brew them. Mike, obviously, you're a fan of IPAs too, but I was never a massive fan of IPAs. So I always wanted that kind of Irish reds, the Irish stouts, the Irish styles, and then those old world styles like we did at Vienna Lager recently. And
I love that
kind of beer calls to my heart. So I love just having that huge variety of different styles that we always change up, which
that's good.
I think helps a lot.
Like Bridget is probably one of my favorites that you guys serve. That's no mystery. But the Smoky Braggot, I had heard of a smoky beer before, like a Roush beer. I had once. I had never heard of a Smoky Braggot before I come here. I'm like, what's that? It's 9%. Let me try that. I was expecting almost like an IPA, because that would be equivalent to like a good double IPA or whatever, but it's a complete different taste, a complete better taste. A sweet, refreshing, roasted beer. Like, holy shit, this is so different than what I'm used to as an IPA. But like this show, like I tell everybody, this has opened my palate up to like various different styles. The world is much larger than the IPA.
Yeah. I can't help but notice. I'm looking at Bridget up on the board, and there seems to be some kind of metal.
Let's talk about that.
What is that metal?
Oh yeah, so back in November, we entered some beers into the great international beer, cider, sake, and sake.
Wow.
No wine. Now I just screwed that up. Close enough. So it was a big beer contest, and we took home a few medals. Bridget was one of them. We got second place in the beers category. And also the red took the medal, and so did the Morgan Stout, which is on our flight here.
Yes.
And
So 3 medals.
John Cole 4. John Cole's not on tap anymore. It's a German dark lager, so that's the first place.
I think you guys might be there with the U.S. Olympic team.
So moving on here to this red, because I couldn't wait. This is another one of my favorites.
Irish red.
What's the name of this one?
Governor.
Okay. What's that mean?
So Governor was actually the original inspiration for the brewery name. So Governor in traditional Irish style is spelled Goidniu. So it's one of those ones pronounced Governor. It doesn't look like that's how you pronounce it in English, because Irish has different rules. So that was an inspiration, because Governor was not only a blacksmith that made weapons for the gods, he was also a brewer. He brewed in a cauldron of plenty where he could brew an elixir for infinite life for the gods. So he was like the perfect person to name the brewery after, but we just ruminated on it. Like nobody can pronounce it. Nobody's going to understand what we're talking about. Yeah. So we went with his father, which was Tragmar.
Yeah, you guys, good call. Because we would have butchered everything from 100%. Walking in the door to guide whatever.
So I think Tragmar probably a lot easier to set.
A lot easier, and that's why we landed on Tragmar.
Guys, I gotta definitely cheers to this Irish Red because
It's really good. Yeah.
Oh man.
Sláinte.
I love this time of year because folks that don't usually make an Irish Red start coming out with them. So
St. Patrick's Day is coming.
Right,
It's coming.
everybody wants to be Irish in March, for sure.
So I've got 1% Irish in me, and I'm like, yes, I've got some Irish. I've got some. Yes.
Not 25. 25%.
He's got to be a fucking one.
My whole father's side, they're all Irish. Yeah. We have the Thayer name, but that's like the last of the English that were left over from the 1600s. They came to America. They all married Irish.
So, do you guys keep this on the menu year-round?
All year, yeah. It's always on tap. Yes. That's how we built this wine. These are our flagship beers.
See?
Should always be in-house.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good start so far, I think.
I'm assuming all your names have some kind of reference to Irish culture and Irish heritage.
Religion.
A lot of them are tied back to the Tuatha Dé Danann, that family. And if it's not the Tuatha Dé Danann, it's typically Irish culture or it's Celtic mythology. So Celtic mythology is not only Ireland, right? The Celts were all over Europe. So even our Epona ties back to which was our Vienna lager. Epona had ties back to Austria and the Celts that were there way back when. So that's why we went with that one. So we try to keep that, and then sometimes there's Irish names in there. Sometimes we blend it with some other things, but typically our core theme is the Tuatha Dé Danann. Tuatha Dé Danann, like easy for me to say that. And Celtic mythology.
You have to have a bouncy ball head on how to pronounce it.
Figure it out. We'll get some graphic in there. But yeah, so Epona was actually the last one I had when I came in here. The last time I was here, I had that wonderful Vienna lager. That's another one that you don't see very often. Most folks, I think the only other one that I've seen in the area is done over at the tap room at Gansett. Narragansett Brewery there. I think they're the only ones that I've ever seen really put out a Vienna lager. And oh my God. So like Buddy said, we were very excited to be here this morning, for sure. But this Irish Red, thank God it's on the menu 24.
Yeah. That's actually our best seller overall since we've been open, because it's always on the menu and people definitely go towards that. It's so, to me, you can't drink just one, you want more.
You want more.
Awesome.
Definitely want more. It's nice because you got the sweetness, and it's a little velvety on the mouth feel in the beginning, and then it finishes nice and crisp, and it's not sticky. I mean, we all know that you finish something and you're like, it just kind of like lingers there, but not in a very good way. This is oh my God.
I love it has a great mouthfeel, but it just finishes nice and clean, right? It doesn't stick around.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm these guys are making me speechless this morning. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I can just sit here and drink
some more beer then.
Oh my God.
How do you decide what style is your daily brew? You obviously have viewing ideas on the menu.
Yes.
As a business owner, just makes sense because people are going to come in and look for an IPA. But how do you have the Smoke Dragon, which is lead side, right? And you also have Snyder up there.
Yeah.
So you have a lot to offer. How do you decide what's next?
They roll a D20.
A lot of it is like just kind of not just our favorite beers to drink, but
you guys go seasonal.
There's a little bit of seasonal in there. Yeah, so like the red, obviously an Irish style, right? And we're very limited on the Irish styles. So we have the classic Irish red and the nitro stout, which will always be around. I still think you have to have IPA on tap. I love IPA. That's what got me into brewing. But Irish red was always my favorite style, right? So do a little bit of seasonal. I wish I had answers. But yeah, just
what's your favorite? What is your favorite style of brew, and what is your least favorite?
You know, every style has its challenge. You know, go from a pilsner that seems so simple, but it's so complex at the same time. There's nothing to hide from in that style.
We just saying the same thing last night. You said the exact same thing.
Versus like an IPA that can get kind of super complex with, you know, the hopping schedule and bitterness and stuff like that. Mouthfeel. Even the Irish stout has its nuance. I mean, every style. I just love brewing everything. You know, I love all styles. But even like the Bridget, that was kind of focused on using that smoke, and they were kind of thinking about ancient brewing, and it was always probably on wood fires and bringing that smoke into that. You know, that with that honey-based old world brewing kind of situation that brings to life there. So
we saw that it was gone for a little while, and now it's back. What made you guys decide to bring it back?
I think a lot of it was the market that people were asking for. People who like it, they absolutely love that beer. They go for it.
I'm a big fan. It's one of my It's fall. You know, it's cold outside. Longer day, cold at night. Lighting a fire outside, and we're going to have a few. And we're going to just relax and drink these and go around. The high ABV or whatever. That's what I'm looking for.
Absolutely.
Maybe a big cigar.
Yeah. Another good thing that I look for when I come here, and unfortunately I didn't get here the last time, but if you guys are ever doing this again, I know you guys resurrected or somewhat resurrected a beer that might have been brewed here at one time, referred to as Penny at one time, and she was a delightful girl. What changes did you make to Penny, if any? And do you plan on bringing Penny back?
It was cool as hell. We'll probably brew it again at some point. We did that with a collaboration with Six Pack Brewing. It was pretty much the same beer. They made like one minor slight change, essentially, but not even like that. But it worked out great, and there'll probably be a little bit of a peanut butter special cask on our anniversary coming up. But it probably won't be not that same beer, but a little bit of peanut butter for all those peanut butter lovers out there.
Nice.
When is this?
Believe me, we'll know.
Our anniversary, March 14th. That entire weekend, 13, 14, 15. We have
right.
smorgasbord of stuff going on. So we have party weekend. It's our anniversary. It's St. Patrick's weekend.
Bingo is on the bingo card this year, guys. So come here and get your selfies.
But that brings me to a good point, though. I wanted to ask you is that. Yeah, you get your customer base that says, we want this, we want this, we want this. So you bring it back for them. Now, what beer? Two parts for this one, I guess. What beer have you said? Fuck it, we're never doing this one again. I don't care how much somebody asks for it. And two, what's the one you say again? Fuck it, I want to make it. We're gonna put it on the menu.
I don't think we've had one that really hasn't sold well. It's
And honestly, shout out to Mike. It's like as a brewer, I've been to a lot of breweries. This even I'm one of the owners. I will say the styles of beers that he's brewed and the quality of the beer, how balanced they are and how drinkable they are has been it's blown my mind. I've never been somewhere where I just enjoy everything, and I honestly enjoy everything that he's ever brewed.
For sure.
Especially this IPA. Moving on to number 3. Which, again, the first thing is it's balanced.
This is Hollow Hills.
It's it's not hitting you over the head with hops. You get it, you taste it, it's an IPA.
Bunch of guys.
So this IPA is just kind of focused on just classic New England IPA. Citrus forward with probably a strong grapefruit out there.
It's It's not overwhelming. Right. That's balanced.
Yeah. That's my issue.
What are you mixing with the Citra to like kind of dumb it down a bit?
It's a 6.5% everyday drinkable hazy, right? And so just a little bit of Citra, Amarillo, and Strata going on in there.
It's very clean and crystal. I'm finding IPAs or better IPAs are huge. Yeah. And we had some last night that were great, and this one is fantastic. I'm used to like people, like I said before, hand copper, like super sunshine,
in your mouth.
It's a sucker punch versus a nice little color. This here is well done.
And I think that's why this one's our, like, I guess we can call house IPA or flagship, right? So it's definitely in that more balanced everyday drinkability range. Whereas, we still throw out some of those over the top double IPAs as well, right?
If that's what your consumer base is looking for, and that's what you want
with it at all.
There's a market.
There's a market for the everyday drinker. This is the one we're always keeping right?
And that's just it, though. I mean, there's always going to be a beer on the menu that somebody's going to be like, I'm staying clear of that. And you guys have such, I want to turn around, but then you can't hear me. There's such a selection on this board of styles that there's something, I think, for everybody to love on there. So definitely get the hell out here.
Get out here for sure. And I was telling these guys pre-show, and in the last episode we filmed last night, one of the questions I asked was, "What is the most underproduced beer style in Rhode Island?" It's Bills and Trickle. It's right there on the menu, guys.
And it's on the board.
Oh, beautiful.
To your point, Ed, you said you guys asked earlier, like, how do I decide with the brewery? I think that's what it is. I try to keep a mix. Of all different styles. That way we can get everybody in here to find something that they like. And that's the goal anyway.
And you guys, that's just it. I think their menu is probably one of the most well-rounded, menus that we've seen. I mean, there's some that definitely lean more toward the IPA styles, and they may trickle in something here or there. We'll put a little sprinkle of fairy dust into this one pale ale that we do.
They even got a cider.
I know, cider, sour. I mean, this queen
and the sour. It's not like your typical sour. It seems like it's not like I love blueberry. It's not like the elderberry sour. That's just like nuts everywhere. So that's awesome that you guys have it.
On a completely unrelated note, folks, I'm never sitting this close to this guy again. Ever. Every time he talks, I'm like, I've got deaf again. So I'm sorry. But yeah, so I mean, besides Costas, what do you think? What do you think?
Well, it's well balanced. It's not too popcorn. It's not punching in the face. It's more of a gentle caress.
Nice.
So it's something that I would drink. I wouldn't drink on a pint of it, but I would put it on a flip board. I would definitely put it in.
Okay, there you go. Folks, Costas approved.
And this one is one of the ones that's a little bit easier to say because it's called Hollow Hills. So, and it has its tie back because the Hollow Hills were basically the portals to the other world, like the fairy hills within Ireland. So that's where the name Hollow Hills comes from.
Very appropriate. I like that a lot.
It's awesome. And it's tied into our other idea that we have on tap right now, which is the She, which comes from the name Banshee that a lot of people tend to know, like the foreteller of death within Celtic mythology. If you hear the Banshee wail at night, that means that somebody in your close circle is going to pass away, unfortunately.
Oh, shit.
So
someone is fucked. Sorry, hope it's not you.
Oh, boy.
Grandma's sitting there and the odds are in her favor, so.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. But I mean, we don't sugarcoat how we feel about the beers, and if we don't like something, we just kind of tend to stay a little quieter about it. Move on. But the fact that Costas is already halfway through, Jesus, that's a good sign, guys.
His palate. We were drinking. We were up till very late last night drinking, so
nice.
Pacing ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Buddy's already on there before.
I've moved on, guys. It was an easy drink for me, honestly.
So, one thing, we see, unfortunately, places coming and going
Yes.
Doors closing, and it's not a subject. I mean, obviously, everybody wants to talk about. It's not an easy thing to do, and you guys have some big brass balls for actually stepping up and doing it, because it's got to take courage.
Yeah.
In a market the way it is, with the generation coming up drinking less and less, listen, get away from those espresso martini things, okay? Come on.
They're drinking less and less beer.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So,
our kids are like, yours, mine. They drink seltzers. They're drinking things that you would not necessarily categorize as beer. Right. So it's a $1 billion market. Not every single brewery is doing the seltzers. So,
but some are like seltzer heads.
Doing seltzers?
We got filter. Yeah.
Do you? Yep.
Yeah. It's on the very top of the middle.
There it is. It's right. It's right there.
Yeah.
See?
We do have so
Damn it. They got everything.
Basically, you can go. It's okay.
Yeah, we make a base seltzer, and right now we are able to offer an array of flavors by doing the flavor shots at this point.
Which is good, because when I came here, I picked up the elderberry sour to bring home, because I had to have that. And then my wife is not a beer drinker. Well, even though she's Irish, she's not a beer drinker at all. And, she sees the cider, and then she sees the seltzer with all these different flavors, and it's like, okay, let's try this flavor. All right, let's try this. After that, let's try another flavor. So it's offering something to someone who's not a beer drinker.
Honestly, I think with the beer Bridget on there, I don't mean to over Bridget again, but I mean, it's a sweet beer. It's easy to drink. I would think like a non-beer drinker could maybe embrace something like Bridget, and it's a high ABV, so that's always a plus too.
Yeah, I have found that working behind this app that every so often somebody come in and tell me they're not a beer drinker. I'll offer the seltzer, the cider. But I've given people samples of Bridget, like, oh, that's so different. That's not what I expected.
This is a
beer. They'll have a pour off it. So,
and especially before we started making the cider, right? Like they would lean towards that Bridget beer. So I bet it's interesting.
Even whiskey drinkers that like the smokiness, they're very into the Bridget.
So we'll talk about that in a minute. But getting back to like I said, the challenges with everybody opening and closing. So what do you think's been like the hardest part of this first year? Is it the first year?
Yeah,
Are we still in the first year?
We're in the first year.
Oh my god!
I haven't even one yet, and
I know. We said the anniversary was coming up. I get that.
you said March 14th. Then
Shut up! I know it was. Shut up! I know the date. I got that. Okay. I just didn't know if it was still one or if they were turning two.
Coming right out.
Sorry. I can't wait. See the shit I gotta work with? That's amateurs. I tell you. So, but anyway, what do you think's been like your biggest challenge this first year?
I would personally say that it's the things outside of the brewery we don't have control over. Right? It's the events, it's the food trucks, getting the food in here, stuff like that. Things that we can control within the brewery, we've been pretty solid on. And honestly, so shout out to Six Pack Brewing. I know we talked about them earlier, but we took over the spot from Mark. And Mark's number one in our mug club. He's in regularly. Great customer, great guy. We love those guys. It was a big step up for us to be able to take over from an existing brewery with an existing following and loyalty. So we were able to immediately pull those people back in again, which is phenomenal. Shout out to all those loyal 6-pack people here now. Tragmar people, and they're considered our customers, our family, our friends now. So that was a big help in initially starting this up. And 6-pack, the guys from 6-pack have been nothing but helpful as we got through the transition and coming in and getting started. So we're very honored to be able to utilize what they had done and continue it forward. Maybe different guys, but still with similar customers. So that was a big step up and a big help. But we have for us, it's certainly about good beer, and Mike makes phenomenal beer, and it's a great spot for beer, and everybody who comes in the door says as much. We're trying to be more than that too. We're trying to be a community spot. We're really trying to build up the local community. We think this after a little Irish pub, the country Irish pub, where you go to when somebody gets hatched, matched, dispatched. So basically, when somebody born, when somebody dies, when somebody gets married, this is the space you want to be in. It's a very Irish thing. It's,
God. I can't.
it's
That's
welcome.
Holy shit. I'm using that. I'm stealing that one. Oh, that's perfect.
Speaking of Irish, you guys have music, but music every single Friday night. You guys just know.
Just about every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the minute, we really try to focus on different aspects of that. Fridays, we have an Irish traditional music session every second Friday of the month, and we get a phenomenal set of musicians. The last Friday, it was 13 musicians showed up in here and playing music with the fiddle, the alien pipes, the borons.
You were here last week. I was here, and it was like standing in the mall with us. You've been to a few places where you walk in and it's like,
are you guys open?
Yeah.
Kids running around screaming, and that's the only entertainment.
That is definitely something that you can see the first success. Because this place was standing room only on Friday night. And I was doing pretty good, and I was ready to do it. I was shaking. I was in the hall, river dancing.
And then the next week, it's the Greek guys.
I've got to see that. I've got to see that. So you guys got the look, the feel. I love it. The beers, obviously. The music, don't you start with me. What? There's always sports on.
Yeah.
And we got the jerseys up here. You guys will see some pictures of them. So, explain. We got to know. I guarantee you, everybody comes in and they're like, what what is going on? Why world of sports is this? So, I mean, it's
working.
No, and that's what I love. Hurling.
So right now on the TV we have the traditional Irish sport of hurling. So within Ireland there are two major sports.
Sports. That's not like after you drink too much. This is the actual sport.
Same word, totally different sport.
This is brutal.
So Gaelic football and hurling are the two Gaelic Athletic Association (GAA) sports in Ireland, plus handball and rounders. But the two main ones are hurling and Gaelic football. They're playing a 160-yard long pitch. It's a stick and ball game, very physical game. It's kind of hard to describe without being able to see it. I know. It's always fun to be able to describe it.
We'll have a clip up for you guys.
Kind of looks like
nice to watch.
People say it's a cross between hockey, lacrosse, UFC, basketball. It's got a lot of elements of different sports in there.
I mean, seriously, anytime you're running around with barely any padding, they do have. They do have these like little leather.
And get some sticks and go like focus.
I mean, seriously. I mean, if you can grab a stick, swing it, hit it, tackle somebody, kill somebody, and then apparently throw it. I mean, somebody else.
It's a fantastic sport. There's a Providence team. There's a Providence hurling team. There's two teams up in Boston. And
here's a Providence team.
There is a Providence team. Yeah. So if anybody wants to go join a hurling team, check out the Providence hurling team.
I love my health insurance coverage.
Right. Might not want to get that. So, moving on to the end of the board. Let's talk about the beer again because Buddy's over here drooling about hurling.
Yeah, right. Talk about this beer, please.
Yeah, so Oregon Irish Stout on Nitro. Classic dry Irish Stout. That gives chocolate roast, coffee roast, and nice and creamy. It's very dry beer, but you get that creamy mouthfeel, and you might even get like maybe a hint of smoke in there just from the barley, right? But there's no smoke in there intentionally. So
for anybody that's watching, who doesn't know, what's the difference between CO2 carbonation and
You stole my question.
So it's a blend. It's a blend of the gases. So right now we're at like 75-25 on CO2 to nitro, or nitro to CO2. Nitro just gives it that nice creamy mouthfeel, those velvet bubbles on the foam.
Right, for sure.
So it's just wonderful. Yeah, it's nothing better than nitro.
Anytime, guys, if you see anything like this on nitro, try it. Just do it. Because it does. It gives you that nice creamy velvet taste up front.
I believe it's at smaller bubbles, so
Yeah.
smoother, creamier mouth.
I mean, look. You got that perfect cream colored head on there.
It's
nice tan.
It's different.
Yeah, it comes. The nitro doesn't stay in solution very well, so it kind of just all bubbles out and kind of creates a layer and protects itself as
But
well.
it's when you pour it, it's like that beautiful. It's falling.
The cascade.
And you just watch it. Like sometimes I just want to pour it just so that I can watch it. You know. AMS, whatever they call that, whatever.
ASMR or something like that.
And I'm just sitting there
Where people are talking into the microphone like this. I don't get it personally, but sure, I guess there's some science behind it. And I call shenanigans. So, but I mean, this is absolutely lovely.
This is if you're a Guinness drinker and you like that dry Irish Light on nitro, like this is what you want to go for.
So now, in research, it blows my mind. Because I think about Guinness, and Guinness is like, for me, it's like the McDonald's of like stout beer.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you like Google like popular beers in Ireland, Guinness is like at the top. How is that? How is Guinness like so popular?
Marketing.
Okay.
Guinness are phenomenal marketers. I gotta give them kudos. Like they do such a good job of getting the marketing right on
So
that.
is it the same beer in America and in Ireland?
I believe it's the same beer, but I can absolutely guarantee it's way better in Ireland.
Oh yeah,
It's just a different taste profile there than you'll get anywhere in the US. There's places in the US that pour good Guinness that is good and it's worth drinking and it's decent. I mean, you can get some really bad.
I mean, it was my first. Stout. It was my first like delicious beer. But at this point in my life, I feel like Guinness is like just like milk.
See,
there's so many more better beers than Guinness.
Guinness in the state is not the same as Guinness in Ireland.
It's
I've been there and had them, and it's
me too.
There's the wort is totally different.
I always think it's a little sweeter too. It seems it's
in Ireland.
It's you got a little bit more roast, I think, in it. A little bit of more of a malty. That's just me. I mean, like I said, I was there. Costa's been there. We've been fortunate enough to have it, and we had I'll tell the story again real quick. Is we were going through and everybody was going up to the bar store. All these military guys coming, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're open." So we weren't, but we are now. So everybody's walking up, and we're all two-fisting Guinnesses because we hadn't had a single beer in like months and months. So everybody's got their Guinness, and we're drinking, and all of a sudden you hear the bartender, this very thick accent, and he's like, "I'm not even going to attempt to do my impersonation," but yeah, exactly. He's like, "Who in the hell ordered a Miller?" And my buddy next to me, he's from Mexico, and he comes up, he's in the Air Force working, he's living in the US and everything else. He goes, "That was me." I was like, the only thing that would have made that better, dude, was if you ordered a Miller Light. God, you're in the motherland. You gotta order a Guinness. You gotta at least have a Guinness.
You got it. There's also Murphy's and Beamish, or two other styles in Ireland that are popular.
There are Facebook pages dedicated to just Guinness. People post pictures.
There's a TV show right now.
Prices of Guinness. And we're going to get a good pour, a bad pour, whether you're splitting beans. So,
gotta come here, split the axe. Full difference.
Hell yeah. Even like Smittix is a really good. Smittix is a really good.
Great Irish rye.
Older than Guinness, also. I think Smittix is like 1710, and Guinness is like 1764. So it just a little bit. But.
Yeah, all right. Irish Red is not too dissimilar to Smithwick's, and I agree, it's a fantastic beer. So, and this beer, the Morrigan, so the name itself, the Morrigan was the Phantom Queen in Celtic mythology. So again, in the Tuatha De Danann, very dark personality, like represented by 3 ravens. So given her dark culture, that's why we went with the dark beer called the dark beer Morrigan.
Yes.
So,
I love it too.
Absolutely awesome. So yeah, I know we're gonna start wrapping things up here. I'm gonna finish this.
Buddy has finished all 4 in his 2 backup beers. Is that, you know?
Oh, boy. Okay, it's gonna be interesting after we wrap this up. But we want to thank you guys. I know you guys are so busy carving out a little bit of time for us today. I know we've been trying to work the logistics of it, but we hadn't given up. We're like, no, we're not.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep that.
We are not failing. So, obviously, if Buddy nags somebody long enough, we get a show. We get a show. So, but thank you guys so much for your time.
Congratulations on your success.
Yes,
Happy anniversary coming up and
getting through that first year.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing your barrel age or your cask.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He's gonna bring that up.
You heard it in principle.
All I'm gonna say is I had some at Brewfest. Okay. Anyway,
and thank you to you guys. Thank you for everything you do for the craft beer community and what you're doing out there. It's super helpful and really nice to.
Well, it's just we just want to like hey, it's not about like that typical awful yellow beer. It's about like awesome beer, and there's a lot of it out there. So like, let us tell you about it. That's all we're doing.
And on that note, Sláinte.
Sláinte. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna take us out.
For Michael and Chris of Tragmar Brewing, for Klaus to say early, and the doctor, of course, this has been Buddy Day. This has been 3 Dudes First, episode 16. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I cheers you. I get just a little bit left of this one. Cheers, drink good beer, because that's what Buddy does.
Sláinte.
Thank you, guys.